Hey guys, my name's Jason, and I want to talk to y'all today about the differences between the solar power bank as well as the gas generator. I get a lot of people asking me because I do so many reviews on solar generators. They ask me, why don't just use a gas generator? Now, there's a lot of reasons why I don't use that, but I wanted to lay out some of the reasons why I don't use this and kind of compare them and then see which one of these would actually work best for you. It really will be dependent on what kind of camping you do, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and start off with the pros to a gas generator. Now this is an 1800 watt max, kind of comparable to the 2000 watt of the Delta Max here, but this one is a Predator from Harbor Freight. So the benefits to the gas generator is that typically for the price you will get more wattage. So they are technically more powerful per dollar you spend. These are a little bit more widely available, although it is kind of going in this direction, so I'm not sure that that will be the case forever. But you can pretty much pick these up anywhere, you know, Walmart, Harbor Freight, Target, maybe not Target, but pretty much anywhere else. So these are a lot more affordable. You know, something like this, 1800 watts, you can get it for like 500 bucks. When it comes to a solar generator, there is a lot more moving parts, and I think you'll see throughout this video that it is worth the money. There is a reason why I have so many of these and one of these. So let's talk about the cons of the gas generator. So first of all, you have to keep adding fuel to them, which is basically not a renewable thing. All you have to do with the solar generator is plug it into a solar panel and you have just a resource that keeps going. You don't have to pay for it. And also with these, you really should be using premium just because of the way that the systems work. So I would always use premium with these, which does get very expensive. You do have to consider that the upfront costs are a little bit cheaper on this one, but overall you're going to be spending money on fuel every single time you want to use this. Another big downfall for this one, and it is really my main reason for not liking these, the main reason is that these are super loud. Now on here it says about 60 to 70 decibels. Now that is just like, in my experience, the minimum. I've heard them go a lot louder, especially when they're under draw. When you're drawing power from these, they are really using a lot of electricity. When these are under draw, these are really making a ton of noise. Now you can add an extension cord and put it further out, but if you're in like really bad weather and you have no way of covering this, that doesn't really help you that much. Is another con of this is that with the power bank, I can put this inside of my tent or inside my vehicle and run a cord out. With this one, you pretty much have to have it outside because it does burn fuel and it does emit exhaust. So you can't have this inside your tent with you or inside your camper, your RV, anything like that. So the good thing about the solar panel is that you do have a renewable way of charging this up that really doesn't cost you any money. If you don't get the solar panel, you will have to plug this in, and depending on how often you're using it, that will cost you a little bit of money, but nowhere near what fuel is going to cost you. So if you're running the solar panel with this, you pretty much have free electricity, and you never really have to pay for anything like you do with the gas generator. These are also way quieter. I've run these inside of my tent while I'm sleeping and not even really noticed when it kicks on. It will obviously make some noise because these fans do kick on, but the noise on these is pretty much negligible. A little fan kicking on is really not going to do that much. So another really big benefit to these is that they typically are a lot more portable. This is 2000 watts here and this is 1800. It is much further back on the camera, so you can't really tell the scale on it, but it is probably about twice the size, maybe 150% of the size of this one. It weighs 70 pounds. You have to add fuel to it, so it will get heavier. And this one is roughly around 50 pounds, and it's super easy to carry, a lot more portable, and it just fits nicer in the back of a 4Runner, a truck, or whatever you're carrying it with, and it will store easily inside your tent pretty well. So a big reason why I do use the solar is because basically You've got 10 years of use off of this for basically one payment up front. You will have minor payments if you are plugging it in. Obviously, it will use electricity, so maybe you'll use a few cents here and there. But once you pay that initial upfront cost, then you pretty much don't have anything to pay for. It's basically free energy, maintenance free. It doesn't require any oil or anything like that. This one has a lot of moving parts. It's just like a car, so there will be a lot more maintenance on this one. And also, this is fume free and quiet. Like I said before, you can put this in your tent or in your car, whatever you want. And, no fumes coming off of this one, just occasionally a little bit of the fan kicking on, and that's not putting out anything toxic or anything like that. Because this is a Life PO4 battery, you will get tons of use out of this. Some of the old ones, like lead acid batteries, stuff like that, they have a limit of how often you can use them. You will at very least get 3,500 full cycles until you drop the capacity a little bit. Now, it doesn't mean that it will not be usable after that. That'll be a slightly diminished capacity. Basically 100% will become like 80 or something like that on these. But 3,500 cycles is 3,500 days. So, that's a long time to be able to use this. And when you do the math on it, the cost of this spread out across 3,500 times compared to the gas here, which, gas prices are ever increasing, it kind of works out to be a much more beneficial route to go for these. So another really cool thing about these is that they are typically a little bit more modern. On here, you've got your plugs that come out here. Now, there are some that are a little bit more modern, but not by a ton. On the Delta Max 2, you get USB-A's, USB fast charging, USB-C's, and you also do get the plugs on the back, as well as, just like this one, you'll get the 12 volt as well. You have a screen that tells you how many watts you're using, how much longer you have. So the biggest drawback about these is that if you don't plug this into your house, you are dependent on the sun. Now, even in a cloudy day like today, you will still get a draw off the solar panels, but you really are dependent on nice sunny days and big solar panels. The other downside to this is that when this battery gets depleted and you're charging it off of solar, once it's depleted, it takes a lot longer to get it back to fully recharge. Whereas the gas generator is going to be a little bit easier, because once that generator kicks on, it will be able to charge much faster. So since this is a brand new product that just got released, I want to talk a little bit about it and kind of why I like the EcoFlow products and why I actually like the Delta 2 compared to the gas generator. So this is even technically larger when it comes to wattage, because this is a 1800 watt max and technically a 1400 watt running time. So this is actually more comparable to a larger one. 2000 watts is probably what you're going to be looking at replacing. This one's going to be a little bit smaller and a lot larger when it comes to size. So with this size, this is a pretty good size for pretty much everything I need it for. It's 2000, 2400 watts, and yeah, 99% of the stuff in my house I can power with this. There might be like something out there that I can't use with this, but for the most part, I can run everything. My AC, my portable AC that I have, which has a lot of BTUs, I can easily charge that off of this. I believe this is rated around 30 decibels, but I have yet to really notice that. Maybe the ambient sound around me when I'm camping is higher, so I don't notice it. But this is, I believe, rated at 30. I think this is rated at like 70 or something like that. So we're more than double there. So to go back on a thing I said earlier about fast charging, typically that is the case, that these are a little bit slower to charge than these, but I don't want you to think that these are super slow. This has two 500 watt inputs, so you can be pulling in as much as 1,000 watts of solar. And if you're doing that, you can recharge in as little as 2.3 hours. I would consider that a pretty fast way of charging. So So another really cool thing about solar generators, especially the EcoFlow products, is that they typically have kind of an ecosystem where you can add and expand on these. So for example, this one can be expanded up to 6,000 watts with additional batteries here. That way, if you go with this one and you find that you need more energy in the future, you can just link these together and expand your battery's capacity. So let's say I have this inside my car and I'm up in my tent, or I'm up in the scamp over here, then I can control this with my app. I have an EcoFlow app and I use that for all of my EcoFlow products. There are different brands that will use their apps and stuff like that, but there is pretty much, to my knowledge, no gas generator that has that. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments if that's the case. I just think it is immensely more beneficial to grab one of these. I've really only run into it once where someone is using this at camp, and that was during the winter. You know, sort of understandable. I kind of let it go, but if it was the summer and one of these was kicking on, I would probably be pretty pissed off. If you're someone who camps off grid, these are two great options. My personal choice would be the solar generator, and that is why I almost always pick the solar generator. I've got tons of these, I've got tons of panels, I really love them, and I would prefer that. Now if you're somewhere where these are acceptable, then by all means use them, but they are super loud and you're gonna piss off everybody around you. So if you're someone that camps at, let's say, a KOA, then by all means just plug into your Sure Power, and that way you're not making a lot of noise. So this one does have its place. Obviously, if you're somewhere where this is permitted and it's not super loud, there's not a ton of people around you, then by all means grab one of these, but you will be woken up in the middle of the night by these, and not my favorite. So if you want to pick up one of these, I'll put a link in the description below and you can use my code. I will put that up here. And from May 25th until June 25th, you will be able to get a discount. I'll also put that discount up here. So additionally, from May 25th to June 4th, you can use this code. So during that time, you'll get two 110 watt solar panels to keep this thing charged. So when you buy the Delta Max 2, you'll get 110 watts of solar twice. So you will be able to run this and keep it charged while you're out camping. That being said, guys, if you disagree with me on the gas generator, then let me know in the comments. I'd love to start a discussion down there. That being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.